when you apply for a data scientist position, usually there is a type of coding interview in a lot of companies. Does somebody have experience with what kind of questions you have on the coding interview? Is it the typical array stuff, searching, sorting, merging, recursion, and so on, or something particularly related to manipulating data frames and stuff?
So in my experience for data science job interviews, the coding interviews I've gotten have all been problem solving type of coding interviews, not like um, software engineering type of interviews where you're trying to do like, binary tree or something like that, and linked list stuff like that. For me, it's been mostly like problem solving type of questions, which you can find on like Hacker Code or I'm sorry, Hacker Code, Hacker Rank or Leet Code. Those type of questions. I mean, one thing that I really enjoyed this website here to kind of help get an idea of what problem solving type of questions you might get asked is Python principles. And they do this and this is great just for like building a little bit of confidence with respect to doing coding challenges. They got these challenges here at pythonprinciples.com/challenge, and they got like all these interesting types of um, uh, challenges. They're fun to do. Another good one is Thinkster, Thinkster on YouTube. And on YouTube, he's got these really cool series of videos, which I'll pull up as soon as this thing loads. And right here in the coding interview. And these are really fun and interesting ones. So things like this, like find the kth largest element in an unsorted list, things like that. Um, yeah, so more problem solving types of questions, and they're generally pretty fun to do, and they're interesting to do. So I'll drop a link right here into the chat for that. Um, that right there is the link to Finkster, his playlist on um, coding interview questions, and the other one was Python principles. So
Thank you, Harpreet. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, they're like in my experience. I'd love to hear what anybody else's experience, but for me, they've mostly been just problem solving. Okay, here's a problem. Let me think through it, and let me think through the solution, and how to get there with you know programmatically. Uh, Rima or Nisha or Asha or Christoph, in your guys' interview processes, what types of questions have you guys come up with?
Me, I think I also have had business case scenario questions. So solve a complete business usually at the end stage of an interview. The first couple of them are usually problem solving, more computer science oriented um, coding questions. There are some companies that do several levels of coding interviews. The first set usually is problem solving though.
Mm-hmm.
But I have had some companies that do also a business case that they're sometimes I just feel like they're giving a problem that they're trying to solve through the
Free
through the
consulting.
interview candidates,
Yeah.
because those sound like those are problems that they're trying to solve, because it says in their website too.
Yeah.
We just don't know whether they have already solved it or not. They're trying to brainstorm kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
Thanks. That's a good hint, actually. If you interview for a company that might give you a problem, check on their website to see if they're solving some problems.
Rima, go
I
for
always
it.
find just doing projects in general and showcasing your projects. And nowadays, it's always on Zoom, so you can always share your screen and just show like what kind of projects that you worked on. And that having visuals is really good for interviews in my case.
One more thing I've had before from one of the companies is they show their actual SQL and ask us to explain as to what might be going on. Maybe this is just in the healthcare domain. I only apply to healthcare domain jobs. but they show because some they're looking for a specific expertise like SQL or a procedural language kind of thing. They just show it and ask you to explain what is going on in there. And sometimes they even ask you what the function does. And if you have really worked with SQL, you would know it's not something difficult. But that's something I've experienced as well.
Yeah, it actually brings me to an interesting point, right? Because so there's kind of different levels of the interview, right? Obviously, first is the HR phone screen, but then they'll have like a text screen itself, which might just be 10 questions, just to screen people out. But then even after, and one of those 10 questions could be like, coding challenge-ish type of thing where you're trying to problem solve using programming, right? And then further along down the process, you'll get the take-home challenge. I think the take-home challenge is much more aligned to what Nisha's talking about or what Rima is talking about as well. So you don't get challenged just once. You'll have like that screening assessment, and then you'll go into the proper take-home assignment. Does that help clarify that, Marin? Also, there's a comment here from Asha. Asha's joining us. She's on the road, but she's chatting right here, and she said that hers have mostly been code questions, but she's also received business case projects too. But a lot of the times it's been timed code challenges, and that's in my experience as well. You'll have a timed coding challenge that's like kind of like the screening phase, and then you'll get a take-home assignment after that. So I'll typically go HR phone screen, tech screen, interview with hiring manager or senior member on the team, take home challenge, and then another interview or 2 interviews after that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate the help.
Yeah, definitely.
And the info.
Yeah, I mean, best way to prepare for all that stuff is just do as many practice problems as possible. So go through those couple of links that I'd shared with you, like the Thinkster Academy link with all those coding interview questions, and then Python principles, those coding challenges. Then go to like Leet Code and just do a bunch of those type of problems as well.